What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about this thing, the TIDRadio H8 Gen 2, a 10 watt beefcake of an HT. Included in the box is a charging dock using Type-C. Great if you want to throw this in a desk or shelf. It makes it easy to grab a longer cable, swap it out if you need it. You can throw a power brick further away and you're good to go. You also get a 5 volt 1 amp wall wart with a USB-C. It's kind of short, it's not that bad. You can use it with the dock or you can charge the radio directly. You get a 25 milliamp battery just like the H3. That's where I think this is kind of weird. It should have been a 3000 milliamp hour battery. You also get the same antenna as the H3, which is nice. It works. It's a little better than most rubber duckies you get with HCs these days, with the cheaper ones at least. But I suspect most people won't use that forever. They'll probably swap it out. You do get a lanyard thingy. Meh, no one really uses those. The version that I specifically got is the ham radio version. It does not allow you to transmit on GMRS, but you can get around that easily. They're all pretty much the same radio. You can unlock these. I won't show you how to do that in this video. You can go on Google and find out if you want, but that's what I got now, so I'm going to work with it. This is a VHF UHF dual band radio, 136 to 174 megahertz, and UHF will be 400 to 512 megahertz. If you do get the ham radio version by accident, you wanted the GMRS version, you can change that like I said. I'll link a great video. I can't remember the person's name, but I will put it somewhere here and you can go find them. If you want to customize this radio, you can do that through Oddmaster. It's TIDRadio, I don't know if it's TIDRadio specific app, but it is an app used with a lot of these inexpensive radios to program via Bluetooth on your phone. Whether you have Android or iPhone, you can download the app, works just the same. Now, I will include here, because I had some trouble, if you are programming for the first time and you've never used the app, just make an account. Make a fake email, whatever. You can use iPhone's like hidden email feature. I think Android has that as well. And just make an account, because a lot of the features like repeater auto find will not work. And even trying to read the radio, sometimes it glitches out and it won't let you do it if you're not signed in. It's weird, but just do it. Now, we even had options to customize the boot screen. Now, if you see on mine, I have my username. I've seen some people even put images. I haven't gone that deep in it, but I think you can put images and you can change all the text that's there. And I did this all from my phone. I haven't used a computer at all. So you can turn on Bluetooth here. You hold that for a second, Bluetooth's on. You can go onto the phone. You open the Oddmaster app. You look for your phone. It's going to say TIDH8. You select the version of the radio you have, whether it's GMRS, ham, or the unlocked version. Again, you can unlock it. And then you just read from the radio like you would on a desktop. Now, your channels are going to be sorted by numbers, so you can click on channel 1. You add the megahertz or the frequency that you're trying to add. You can add your tones and your alpha tags and save it. And you can write to the radio, it'll reboot, and you're good to go. Pretty easy. If you're on the go, it works fine. You can also program these on a desktop. If that's something you're into, and honestly, it's more organized and easier for me. I'm getting old. I need a big screen, but you can use Chirp. That works too. Now, I want to test out the audio quality from this radio, because on the TIDRadio website for this, web page for this radio, it claims that the audio quality is a bit better. It's less tinny than the H3. I don't think the H3 audio is tinny, but I am a horrible audiophile. I don't know anything about audio, so let's compare the two and see which one is better.
Thanks. I have a couple of items for sale. First up is a Radio Shack HTX10 10-meter mobile. I've hardly ever used it because right after I got my General and won the raffle for the Yaesu FT450D, and so I just really haven't done anything with it. Just a couple of weeks ago, I set it up in the shack and made a contact from here in Vegas all the way to the north part of Chicago, so it definitely does work. It includes the radio, the mounting bracket, the microphone, and the power cord. There's no box and no manual, but the manual is available to download online, or I can email it to you if you should decide to buy it. It should be a good radio. Up number 2 is a MFG 993B automatic antenna tuner. Let me reset. Physically it's good, but it's got a significant problem. It's good for low QRP, but once you get up to about 10 watts, the programming in it scrambles and it just stops working. You have to unplug it and plug it back in and restart it again. So I'm just taking any reasonable offer on that. But both of these items I will have at the swap meet on Saturday morning. That's it for me. Back to you, Kent. This is KG7HUP. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the contact information is, but I think being at the swap meet is good enough for that.
Now, on to the physical characteristics when compared to the H3, right? And I'll be honest, I'll be transparent in this section. These are my opinions. If you feel a different way, that's fine. I like the small grip of the H3. If for people who have big hands, it might sound contrary to, well, you have big hands, why do you like a small radio? I don't feel like I'm gonna drop this. Like, this feels like it's solid in my hands. But then again, this feels like I can press the PTT button easily. Whereas on the H3, if you have dual watch on and you want to transmit on 2, you have to use this secondary PTT. It is something you got to get used to on the H3. So I will take a point out of the H3's camp for that. On the H8, you get the full size PTT. You do have to physically change between A and B in order to transmit, whereas on the H3 you didn't. But I don't know. It's a pro and a con. The UIs are the same when you turn them on. They're pretty much identical. The only difference is you do have that 10 watt indicator there for when you're transmitting. I've tested it on low, medium, and high, which is 3 watts, 5 watts, and 10 watts. And it seemed to, I don't have a measuring tool to actually see what's coming out of the radio, but the indicator there worked fine. Another big thing that I mentioned in my original video of the H3 was this text that's on the screen. It kind of annoys me because it takes my attention away from the screen. I'm always looking at it. The H8 does not have that, and it's a bigger screen, which feels really nice when reading, the alpha tags and changing settings and stuff. That is really nice. I will give a point to the H8. In terms of battery life, they both have the same size battery, 2,500 milliamps, which I find to be weird because if you guys haven't already noticed, this battery looks bigger. So in terms of battery life, I think you're going to get a little bit less on the H8 if you're transmitting at 10 watts. But honestly, it's probably not a huge deal because both of these radios have USB Type-C. So you can just plug it into a battery pack that's in your book bag and you should be okay. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to spend some more time with this radio and see what I can do with it. Maybe we'll go out and test it in the field in the future. And I will see you guys next time.